Hello and welcome back to Ask Anoushka. I hope that you're all doing really well. So today's question comes from actually one of my email subscribers, and I really wanted to make a video on this because I thought it was a great question. And why does the narcissist do this? Like, why is it they don't give you any explanation? You just don't understand why they behave like this, and it's always the same thing. You always have to make up your own closure. You have to understand why this person is doing this. Like, I just, do you know what? It's just so sad that it happens, and that, you know what, we are left in this kind of destruction and this period of not knowing. And I think that is what causes the cognitive dissonance, is when we don't have an explanation why. Sometimes, actually most of the time after narcissistic abuse, we question ourselves. So having to get the answer ourselves makes it so much harder to kind of try and understand what actually did happen. And this causes so many kind of emotional dysregulation issues for us as survivors, trying to piece together, trying to make the links. Is it this? Is it that? You spend so much time trying to understand it. So I know that, like, with channels like my one, who kind of educate, who help people who have gone through this, but there's also others that are here on YouTube, that are on other social media platforms. I think it's really important that you watch and you educate yourself, so that you're not left questioning, you know, yourself, your decisions. Maybe if you've done something different, maybe if you didn't do something different. This will really help you in your recovery, because you kind of like end up questioning your own sanity, and this isn't what this is about. You know, this is what the narcissist does. The reason why you're questioning your sanity is because it has been insanity being with the narcissist. What I mean by that is they have a really dysfunctional way of being, and so what it has caused you to do is to kind of question reality in itself. Like, have I been thinking the right things? Have I been doing this way? Have I not done this the right way? And what I want to say to you is, yes, you have. It's just because you have been with someone who is dysfunctional. You have had a window or an insight into this person's reality, and that's why it has caused you to behave or think in this way. Because it's kind of like when you spend a lot of time with somebody, when you spend a lot of your life with somebody and you become emotionally bonded to that person, you have a window into their world, and that's why it feels strange. That's why you feel like, have I got this right? You question yourself. So ultimately, this is why. Now, what happens with these types of individuals is that, you know, you get into this relationship with them, you bond to them, you attach to them, and it just seems so lovely, because it feels like at the beginning that this person is exactly what you have been looking for, exactly what you have wanted. And this does continue over time, and this is where we deepen this attachment that we have to them, this attachment bond. And we believe that the person that they are is exactly the person that they are. It's not going to change. And this is why we become even more so drawn into them, because they are everything that we have ever wanted. They are everything that maybe we could have wanted and would have wanted, but all the while they are mirroring an aspect of us back to us. So they, in themselves, I wouldn't call it a pretending. You see, what happens with these individuals is they want you to love them. They want this relationship with you. So they will want to be you. So they are going, the reason why they want to be you is because they want you to attach them. They want you to love them, even if it is for that short amount of time. I don't think they think too much into the future. I think it's very much impulsive. It's very much for the here and now. They don't think about longevity of the relationship, the way that, for example, healthy relationships develop. So there will be a lot of this intimacy, this intense intimacy at the beginning of the relationship, because they want you to love them. They want you to give them attention and accept them. And because actually, as children, they weren't given this validation. So you loving them, you giving them that attention is their validation. It means that you have accepted them for who they are. They know deep down they've had this dysfunctional upbringing, but yet they need to be able to get you to love them because they don't feel like they are worthy and lovable themselves. So this is a real deflection. This is a real ego process that's going on here. So what they do is they take an aspect of you and they pretend to be you. And that's what you fall in love with at the beginning of this type of interaction. You fall in love with aspects of yourself that they are mirroring back to you. And so that's why this bond feels so strong at the beginning. And what this then creates is this trauma bond, because when they become comfortable in the relationship, they then withdraw because they feel like they have already got you and they have you where they want you. Not that this is done in this way particularly. What I mean is this is their way of attachment. This is their way of understanding a relationship. This is their way of bonding to another. Okay, basically being somebody else, being you, because they want you. They want to secure you as a partner, as a person who is going to give them this attention no matter what. What they don't understand is that you have to give as well. You have to, when you get into these healthy relationships, you have to bring your authentic self. You have to bring yourself to the table. But when someone has no sense of self, they're not able to do that, because if they are having to be somebody else in this relationship, they're not you. Like, they are themselves, they're not you. So they believe that if they are you, that you are going to accept them. But once you have them, once they have you, they withdraw. It's just something that they do. It's a really dysfunctional way of attaching. This is why this is called an attachment disorder. They detach and then they start to look for other people that they can get to give them, you know, more attention, more validation, and they manipulate the situation. They manipulate people's perceptions of them. This is why this is big illusion. This is why they pretend to be somebody else. This is where the trauma bond deepens, because we're always trying to get back to that person that they were. All right, and a lot of us don't ever get out of this trauma bond until like so many more years down the line. We stay in this trauma bond longer than we need to. We try to manage the relationship. We try to give them, you know, help them. We try to give them so much of our energy, so much of our own resources, emotionally as well, that we then tire ourselves out because we feel like, why is this person behaving this way? Maybe I've done something wrong. Maybe I need to change who I am. And you see, the reason why they actually do this is because this is the attention that they're getting from you. This is what we mean by attention. They're getting all of these resources from you. And why would they need to change? Why would they want to change? They've got it all. They've got it all. So they don't need you to change. They just want you to stay that way. And what I feel like these toxic individuals don't understand is that actually there is a threshold. There is, to some point, this person is not going to be able to sustain this because you can't, because you give so much of yourself, because you want to make that person happy, because you love them and you want the best for them. So that's what they don't understand, that actually there comes a threshold and we're not going to be able to do this anymore. So this is why we move away. This is why we then learn and educate ourselves. So guys, the more that we educate ourselves about these kind of people, about the trauma bond, it will help us to move forward. Take time out. Sometimes distraction techniques will help. Try and busy your mind with other things. I know it's going to take a lot of effort for you to busy your mind with other things, but this is going to be the new thing that you've got to do, because the more time that you spend ruminating, overthinking it, this isn't going to help you going forward. This is only going to make things a lot difficult for you, and it keeps you stuck. So take up journaling. Take up writing, write it all down, have a conversation with yourself. Remember, I run the journal club. Please see the description box below for more details. Get yourself out into nature, go and see your friends, take up some sport or something like that that will help you to distract yourself from thinking about this person, particularly in the beginning stages of this. And as time goes on, things will become easier, but by no means try and get in contact with them because you're not going to get the answer. They're not going to be able to explain to you why they do this because they don't know themselves. They don't have this introspection to understand why they do this and why they behave like this. So guys, I really hope this video helps, and I really hope it helps you to make those links and maybe think about this in a different way and gives you more answers into why these people are like this. Take care and look after yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.